Tesla, the genius who illuminated the world in darkness. Picture a stormy night in Colorado Springs, 1899. A scientist stands alone in his laboratory, surrounded by crackling electrical equipment and coils that seem to dance with artificial lightning. This man holds a wireless light bulb that glows mysteriously in his hand, defying all conventional wisdom of the time. This wasn't a magic trick. This was Nikola Tesla, demonstrating the power of his genius to a mystified world. His story is one of extraordinary brilliance, unwavering determination, and the price of being decades ahead of one's time. Early life, the spark of genius. On a summer night in 1856, during a fierce lightning storm in the small Croatian village of Smiljan, Nikola Tesla was born. The midwife called this a bad omen, declaring he would be a child of darkness. Instead, he became the man who would banish darkness from our world. Growing up in a family where his father was an Orthodox priest and his mother an inventor of household appliances, young Tesla showed signs of exceptional abilities early on. His childhood was marked by both brilliance and tragedy. Tesla possessed an eidetic memory and could visualize complex machines in his mind with perfect clarity, a gift that would later revolutionize electrical engineering. However, he also suffered from intense visual sensations and vivid nightmares, experiences that both tormented and inspired him. The first major crisis of his life came when his beloved brother Daniel died in a riding accident. This tragedy haunted Tesla throughout his life but also fueled his determination to achieve something meaningful in memory of his brother. Shortly after, when his father's death threatened his education, Tesla showed the first signs of his incredible resilience. The journey of transformation. Tesla's journey to America reads like an epic tale. After working at the Budapest Telephone Exchange, where he first conceived the idea of the induction motor while reciting Goethe's Faust in a park, he made his way to Paris to work for the Continental Edison Company. His brilliance quickly became apparent, but Europe couldn't contain his ambitions. In 1884, Tesla arrived in New York with 4 cents in his pocket, a book of poetry, and a letter of recommendation from Charles Batchelor to Thomas Edison that read, "I know 2 great men, one is you and the other is this young man." Little did Edison know that this immigrant would soon become his greatest rival. The Edison years, bitter lessons. Tesla's time with Edison began promisingly but ended in bitter disappointment. Working 18-hour days, Tesla improved Edison's DC generators and was promised $50,000 if successful. When Tesla completed the task and asked for his payment, Edison replied, "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." This betrayal taught Tesla his first harsh lesson about American business practices. Instead of breaking him, this experience strengthened his resolve. Tesla left Edison's employ and spent the next few years working as a ditch digger while developing his own electrical systems. During this period, he would often work physically during the day and develop his inventions mentally at night, perfecting every detail in his extraordinary mind before building anything. The rise of the current war. Tesla's breakthrough came when he secured funding from investors to develop his alternating current, AC, system. George Westinghouse, recognizing the superiority of Tesla's system, purchased his patents for $60,000 in cash and stock in the Westinghouse Company. This partnership initiated the famous War of Currents against Edison's DC system. Edison, feeling threatened, launched a vicious campaign against AC power, even publicly electrocuting animals to demonstrate its dangers. The battle reached its climax at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where Tesla's AC system illuminated the entire fair, creating a spectacular display that earned him worldwide recognition. Revolutionary innovations. Tesla's work went far beyond the AC system. He developed the Tesla coil, which laid the groundwork for wireless technology. He pioneered X-ray technology, though he gave credit to Röntgen. He invented the first radio-controlled device, demonstrating it at Madison Square Garden in 1898. His patents and theoretical work formed the basis of modern radio, although Marconi initially received credit for the invention. The visionary years. Tesla's most ambitious project was the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island. This massive structure was designed to demonstrate worldwide wireless power transmission. J.P. Morgan initially funded the project, but withdrew support when he realized Tesla's vision of free energy for all would be unprofitable. The tower's demolition in 1917 symbolized the tragic conflict between scientific idealism and commercial reality. During this period, Tesla made countless other discoveries. He developed theories about cosmic rays, presented ideas about particle beam weapons, which he called the death beam, and proposed a worldwide wireless communication system decades before the Internet. He was awarded more than 700 patents, many of which we still use today in modified forms. Personal life and eccentricities. Despite his genius, or perhaps because of it, Tesla lived an increasingly isolated life. He resided in a series of New York hotels, developing peculiar habits that both fascinated and puzzled observers. He insisted on occupying rooms with numbers divisible by 3, ate exactly 18 oysters for dinner, and required 18 napkins to dine. His obsession with pigeons became legendary. He would feed them daily in New York's parks, even bringing injured ones to his hotel room for care. He claimed particular affection for a white pigeon, saying, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman, and she loved me." The final years, the Great Depression hit Tesla hard. Though he continued to work and occasionally announce new inventions, financial success eluded him. He spent his later years working on increasingly theoretical projects, including attempts to develop a dynamic theory of gravity and exploring the possibility of interplanetary communication. Despite his poverty, Tesla maintained his dignity. He would still appear in public immaculately dressed in a black suit and white gloves, though these clothes were increasingly worn and dated. He gave annual press conferences on his birthday, making predictions about future technologies that seemed fantastical at the time but have since become reality. The ultimate legacy. When Tesla died in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel on January 7, 1943, he left behind a legacy that would only grow with time. The FBI seized his papers, concerned about his claims of having invented a powerful new weapon. This action only added to the mystique surrounding his work. Today, his influence can be seen everywhere. The Tesla unit measures magnetic field strength. Electric cars bear his name. Wireless charging technology builds on his principles. Radio-controlled devices evolved from his patents. Modern robotics reflects his early visions. Smartphones utilize principles he first described. Alternative energy research follows paths he pioneered. Prophetic vision. Tesla predicted numerous technologies we now take for granted. Wireless communication devices, smartphones, global information systems, internet, autonomous vehicles, artificial intelligence, solar power utilization, vertical takeoff aircraft, wireless power transmission, enduring inspiration. Tesla's life teaches us timeless lessons. True innovation often requires sacrificing personal gain. Being ahead of your time can be both a blessing and a curse. Financial success doesn't always accompany great achievements. Persistence in the face of ridicule and opposition is crucial. The future belongs to those who can envision it clearly. As we stand in our modern world of wireless technology, remote controls, and alternating current, we live in the future Tesla envisioned over a century ago. His story reminds us that the greatest achievements often come from those willing to stand alone, think differently, and persist despite all obstacles.